Hello, and welcome to the Vergecast. Paul Miller is here. He's not wearing a sweater. Really disappointing, Paul.
Can I just put it on right now? Oh, but it's like all taped.
How is it that every time you're on this show, you just run away for no reason?
What do you mean? Run away?
Remember last time you were here?
Yeah.
We triumphant 100th Vergecast,
Yeah.
and to end it, you just left?
I went upstairs.
That's not an answer.
I think I went and I went and got drinks with people. It was Halloween, and I went
The
to drinks.
show wasn't over yet.
That during the show.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend this entire Vergecast just doing this the whole time.
Also, Dieter Bohn is here. Hi.
Yeah.
Hi, and welcome to the Vergecast, a show where
Don't wear sweaters ever.
never any sweaters. That's a great Weezer song.
Wow.
What?
It is.
Hi,
too
welcome to the
soon.
I'm gonna. How is it too soon? I'm just gonna start over. Hello and welcome to the Vergecast, a show about whatever. I'm Nilay Patel.
I'm Paul Miller.
And I'm Dieter Bohn.
Dieter Bohn lives in New York City now. Everybody.
Yes, I do. I live in New York, in Brooklyn. It's lovely. I've been here since Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
living life.
Can't wait to get furniture, actually.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Pretty awesome.
Do you feel like a New Yorker yet?
No.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever will. I'm looking forward to being the contrarian New Yorker that tells you that this is not the greatest city on earth. Oh, hey.
Oh God, I'm breaking it.
Okay.
Oh God, no, I broke it. So bad.
Nilay. Why?
These mic stands hate me so
This
much.
is a perfect
You're
example
not-
of what's wrong with New York.
You're not.
Your mic stands don't stay up.
Totally.
All right,
You're
hold
not
on.
from
Shh.
San Francisco.
No, guys, just
though.
play it off. Where are you from? Is it San Francisco?
You're not from San Francisco.
It's San Francisco, isn't it? Shh. No, that's not. Just it's fine. Dieter,
I'm going to talk into the
you just-
It
microphone.
sounded like
look
in my
down
head
into it.
it said, "Listen to Big Will in the middle."
This is starting really well.
I mean, this is terrible, and I would like to apologize.
You
to
hate
everyone.
New York. It's fine. Get over
All right,
it.
anyway, Dieter's here. We're very excited he moved to New York. There's only one missing puzzle piece in my master plan, and you can address him directly at @ZPower and ask him when he's moving to New York. Welcome to Vergecast, everybody. Okay, so a gigantic week of news. We have tons of stuff
There's
to
like
play
a
with.
pile.
There's a pile of toys.
The camera over here almost can't see Nilay because of the pile of technology.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Here's how I'd like to
technology.
structure this show. You just pick up stuff, and then we cut to reaction shots of it.
Oh, please. Where do you want to start?
Well, actually, we need to start with the biggest news of the week
Yeah.
and the biggest news of tomorrow, which is the Xbox One is
Yes.
launching. Last week, it was all about PlayStation 4. We covered it at length. People got very mad at me because I mentioned that the PS4 might be a better pure game console, and the Xbox One is like an ambitious other thing.
I thought that was like the narrative since day one.
No. But if you ask people in the Microsoft tribe,
Yeah.
the narrative is that I hate everything, and joy may not exist.
Well,
in this
the funny
world.
thing about that is that's true.
That is also true.
Yeah.
You know, the Microsoft tribe is full of very smart people, very perceptive folks. Go ahead.
I feel like being a fan of a console is like being a fan of a president.
It's like being a fan
versus
of an
like being a
appliance
fan
at
of
this
like
point.
you've got like this local representative and you helped them get elected and you did
Yeah.
door-to-door stuff. It's like you can own that. You can be a
that's you.
fan of that.
Yeah, you're my guy.
Yeah.
I got you.
A console,
Yeah.
really.
It's like it's like,
You
yeah,
didn't
you
help.
suck. Like you're gonna go from fresh-faced Barack Obama
Right.
to old white-haired, angry-looking Obama who's
Executive
spying on me.
orders, left and right.
Just doing it. Drone wars.
That's what consoles are like.
Yeah. The Xbox One, by the way, has a drone army. No, so you were on Polygon's live stream yesterday. I
Yes.
was on Polygon's live stream yesterday, and Dieter knows nothing about anything.
I know nothing about it.
Do you
And
play
I-
video games?
I do play video games. I canceled my Xbox One order.
So you're the one. You're the
I'm the
one
guy.
person
The
who
one
really
guy.
did it.
Do you
Because this
do you
is
have,
this is the longest standing troll in our comments right now. Is like any piece of news. It's like, I canceled my pre-order.
Right.
And then other people insist that is either true or not true.
I did it for really real. Although I did it mostly because I was frustrated at Microsoft's customer service,
Wow.
which is terrible. I couldn't get them to change my shipping address since I just moved to Brooklyn. And then I realized that there's a couple of games that I'm interested in on Xbox, but really, like, I've got 8 games for the 360
Oh, yeah,
that I
a
haven't
huge
played
stack.
yet. I was like,
I just played Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
Which is like a Dreamcast game on my Xbox 360. Like that's where I'm at with the backlog.
Yeah.
You know, I've got
So
a lot of
here's the thing
catching
about the
up to do.
Dreamcast, which is crazy. So yesterday I tweeted that
You started a
Mario
fight.
The N64 was the best console launch of all time because of Mario 64. because of Mario 64, which was like an atomic bomb throughout the industry of like, oh crap, this is so awesome and different and crazy, and that I could not identify even a close second place.
Like a console with a launch title.
Like
that
a
you
launch.
had to have it
like
right
it
now.
was, people saw it, freaked out, they had to have it, and like the one that's far and away in my mind is Mario 64 with the N64. Now, what's funny is so that I got two pieces of feedback and one missing piece of feedback. So the two that I got consistently, the Dreamcast, weirdly, and then the Super Nintendo was Super Mario World, which is like, you can make that argument.
Yeah, but what did Dreamcast launch with?
I don't know, but lots of people brought up the Dreamcast with me.
That
And
taxi game.
I was not a Dreamcast person. But then the one I didn't hear at all, which I think is crazy, is the Wii. I expected to hear the Wii a lot because the Wii launched this like
With Wii Sports?
yeah, but it launched this like huge explosion of like this is the new video game.
I mean,
like,
as far as like
but I didn't hear that at all.
successful launch titles, like money made by a launch title, I think
don't-
you have to go Wii. But best game that's a launch title,
But like
I think that's Mario
biggest
64.
like yeah, absolutely. Like there's no denying it.
And there is something to that. Just that, man, because I've been watching Mario 64 speed runs. The current world record for all 120 something stars is like a minute 44.
Yeah.
What?
No, not a minute 44.
Yeah,
an hour 44.
It's a minute 44 and 6 pounds of cocaine.
I apologize, but like watching like that's got like wall jumps and backflips and diving.
Yeah, there's all these moves
You
and,
can
like-
you could ride on a turtle shell and zoom around the level. And you can get wings. You can shoot out of cannons.
That
And,
was
like,
the game that
they-
introduced me to the concept of the camera in a game.
Yeah, no, and like if you watch that game, you like I'm watching a stream, but you hear the sound effect every time he changes the camera, and what that's saying is like, hey guys, there's cameras now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna remind you with a sound effect that you can move the camera. Like it's
Well,
like
and
so different, and they innovated so much and put so much heart and passion and work into a launch title. And they didn't come out with another Mario game until Super Mario Sunshine, like a million years later.
Right, but the thing about that, it's like none of the launch titles for the PS4 or the Xbox One are even close.
Yeah.
Like not even close. They're like, here's Ghosts. It's
Like Forza is Microsoft's
Forza.
That's like Microsoft's, like in a true, real, exclusive, big budget, huge game. That other than what Drivatars,
Forza's fun. I mean, I played it. I played
it's
Forza
great
until 1:30 in
but
the morning last
it
night.
is clearly a refinement of a
Yeah,
last
yeah.
generation type of, and really of a Gran Turismo.
Right.
It's a refinement of a Gran Turismo.
Of a formula. Like a hyper accurate Paul.
Wow.
This isn't my phone. Should I take it?
I
Yeah.
don't think you should take that.
Paul,
no.
what is that? What is that ringtone? Like, what kind of funky robot ringtone is going on?
That's
oh my god!
That's Rockapella.
Everything in the studio is falling apart.
That's
Wow.
That's Rockapella from Carmen San
Don't worry,
Diego.
everybody. Jordan's fixing the piece of paper that fell down, shocking me to my very core.
Yeah, that was pretty terrifying.
So did I make a mistake canceling my Xbox One?
Okay, so we should talk about the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think so. But for this reason, because it's not yet.
Right.
There will come a day when the Xbox One is like ready.
that day is called Titanfall.
Yeah, that's it's called
That's
Titanfall
Ares.
release day, right? That's like March. But if you're waiting on the game, it's like March, and then you should definitely buy one. If you're waiting on all of the promise of the Xbox One, it's wildly TBD. Like they don't even
Both
want.
of the consoles have not just like, you know, with this last generation, we saw a ton of innovation after release.
Right.
But both of these consoles have a ton of announced features that aren't in the console.
Yeah, what pure potentiality is the
Gaikai.
verdict.
Well, right,
Streaming,
Guy for PS4,
streaming
yeah.
on the Xbox
Yeah.
isn't there.
Right, and then but the Xbox is also. It's so weird when we were talking about this on the Polygon stream yesterday. It's so weird that when you talk to the people who made the Xbox, like the executives and the engineers, they're like, "Yeah, it's like a Windows PC. You know, we'll get there. You can port the apps really easy. Like, it's all going to happen. Like, we just got to figure out like the policies and procedures for running this app store. Like, that's a big project. We weren't ready for it at launch, but they're very clear that like Windows is there and they're going to do Windows things. And if you ask the PR. They're like, no, it's not a Windows PC. It's
Yeah,
an
right.
Xbox. And it's like, well, you've had PR problems since launch with this thing. Like every moment of the Xbox launch has been plagued by bad messaging or retracted messaging.
And then you're like, so what is it, huh?
yeah. And then I flip a table. I'm like, but it is a PC. And like I open it up and like expose the AMD GPU.
I think
the
it's
giant
really important
8-foot
because
fan inside it. The fan is like the iFixit teardown went up today, and it's like 5 inches across. It's gigantic.
No, I mean it's a PC. Like
Yeah.
they built the PC.
If it's a Windows PC and they want to work well with developers,
I think they do.
this could have 1 billion ports in a week.
Right.
But if it's just a PC, then it has basically the same like rate of ports as like the Steam box, maybe even a little slower.
Well, no, but it's Windows. Like they're very clear that like they have taken complicated Windows apps and moved them to the Xbox platform in 24 hours. Like that's like a thing that they say a lot.
The Xbox, the game part isn't straight Windows though, right? This
No,
is
no.
yeah, it's running multiple operating systems or whatever
Right.
they say.
Well, yeah, there's well 3, but it's really 2, right? There's the hypervisor, and then there's like the game. They call it the Xbox 720 side, right? The new Xbox side, and then there's a Windows side. And the Windows side, as far as I can tell, is not being used in any substantive way outside of like running Skype, running the various media apps.
Is that the games? I mean, I just think the Steam box. I mean, I was playing Jet Set Radio yesterday. And that's an HD remake of a Dreamcast game that was also, I think, released for the Xbox. Jet Set Radio Future was released for the Xbox. And then Microsoft did a backwards compatibility patch for some Xbox games. Jet Set Radio Future was one of them. Like, that has been such a weird, difficult, crazy thing. But now everything is x86.
Yeah.
And I don't think there should have to be another break in compatibility. And in fact, I think we should be able to get back a lot of these games. I mean, if you look at Steam right now, you get more and more old games all the time. Like you get new games all the time, and you get old games all the time. And then there's like good old games. Like playing games on a computer is getting better and better.
Yeah.
And you get a larger library faster and faster. And I don't see what they have to compete with that yet, unless they're really going to.
Well, no, this is the thing that I
Here's
think
my-
that go ahead.
Here's my question. You mentioned x86. So both these consoles, to me, they feel a little bit rushed because there's like so much potential, and you know all the features aren't ready yet, but they're coming, and get ready for the games they're coming, and that's fine. They're like, look, consoles have a 7 to 10 year cycle, and so it's okay that not everything is there at launch because this is a long game, and in a couple of years things will be fine. And my question is, why?
Why is that okay?
Why is that okay? Why can't, especially now that they're both on x86, why can't like we have a faster release cycle for these consoles going forward?
And,
Right.
it's not like we had the sort of graphical leap that we had from the Xbox to the Xbox 360.
So Chris Grant's answer, because I asked him the same question about the PS4 last week, his answer to that is like, you've got to get the install base. So like, unless you can somehow promise forwards compatibility, so like next year the next like Xbox 2 comes out, you can't ask all the people who bought an Xbox One. Right, you need this huge base
Overall, over
because
time.
the game developers need to sell to everybody.
Well, the dream should be that like when I play a game on a brand new iPad, it's great, and when I play it on a slightly older iPad, it's the same game, it's the same install, but it just doesn't look quite as nice.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
I would like to see them do
that is,
future
in fact, the
compatibility
dream.
where I can get an
But
Xbox
here's
One
what-
Plus.
But the only thing about that is that I do think in what we saw with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, like if you look at Grand Theft Auto 5 versus a launch title,
Right.
Oh yeah.
when you have an exact, precise description of your target platform, you can wring so much more performance out of that than when you don't quite know what you're getting.
Well, no, I mean, I that's true, right? And they will everybody from the game developers to platform vendors will tell you that. But what I think is more at launch, particularly with the Xbox, they should have been more ready with this app side. They should have been more ready with Angry Birds and other weird stuff, and like shown people like here's all this latent potential. Like we built a Windows app thing over here. There should have been more stuff for it, not just a bunch of media apps, which are effectively the same media apps you get on the 360 already. And I don't know why that is.
Almost less.
Yeah, the HBO Go isn't there yet, right? So like,
and like Twitter.
Well, do we know the
Facebook.
full story of
Yeah,
how
but who
that
cares?
other stuff is going to get on these consoles?
Nope.
What the App Store, so
nope.
quote unquote,
And they're
is gonna look
like,
like?
we're just working it out. They're like, we got to get to launch. And it's like, but this is the key to your platform. Like,
Yeah.
it's not the TV stuff. Like that stuff isn't good. But the key to your platform is like,
But to be honest, as somebody who doesn't really want to spend $1,000 right now to get 2 consoles, and I didn't pre-order, it's kind of relief.
yeah,
It's kind of nice.
It's like,
of them.
it didn't happen.
It's kind of nice that there's nothing so compelling and amazing that I have to go get it. Like, it's like, you know what? We'll just let those percolate for a little bit. I'll play Jet Set Radio.
Yeah.
And then, you
no,
know.
David Pierce just bought a 360.
Oh.
That was his response to the next gen
Wow.
launch was to buy a 360. And like I keep doing this thing. I'm on Amazon and like I'm buying used games for $5 left and right. I never play any of them.
Crazy time.
I've got the best 360 library of history. I've
wild.
never played any of them.
Right.
Like awesome.
But it
looks
makes
so
you
cool.
feel better.
God, I could have so much fun at my house if I would just have the time to play video games all day long. No, so have you played with any of the other stuff, the TV stuff? Because this is the other big thing.
I know you talk about the TV stuff. Can I just say
You don't
directly
care.
to the camera, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
So I know that you're very, very,
Love you too, Paul.
very mad at the Xbox One.
I'm not
for having
mad
an
right now.
IR
It's actually like a
blaster.
joyful feeling. It's one of those like delightful, like I told you so.
You're happy to
but
have
hang on.
something to hate.
I own an IR repeater, an IR
Yeah.
blaster, and I love it
Why?
because I can use a Harmony One remote, and I can.
No, no. You know what's on the other end of your
You're wrong,
IR
Dieter,
repeater?
you're wrong.
Your eyes and brain, right? Like you see what's going on. Like you can understand the interface. You're like pushing buttons to control it. It's not like a bunch of crazy ass macros, right? IR blasters are great if there's a human brain on the
No,
other end.
I mean there's like macros to like activate the different
Yeah, but
components.
those
that
are
I'm
like
using.
that's
Well,
like a bunch of power switches.
if an Xbox One could like replace the Harmony One as my universal remote, I would actually be interested in that, even though I know the TV integration really sucks.
Wait, but there's no way for it to do that. I mean, that's like
Yes, there is.
There's, I think,
Buy Logitech.
right, but what is the mechanism by which it will replace your Harmony One? Yeah, fine. Then they'll own Logitech.
More little cables with IR blasters coming out of them.
No,
I can
it's
control my whole.
it's the other side. It's the two UIs for your cable box. It's the
Right.
navigating your DVR menus and knowing when it's missed a channel change. It's never going to do that stuff. You know when your remote doesn't work and you like compensate for it. The Xbox has no ability to do that,
Right.
and until it does, it's screwed.
Tell me something to make me happy.
It's fun. I enjoy
Okay.
enjoy playing games in the Xbox One. I think all of this TV stuff is a huge waste of their effort.
I definitely agree. Like I wish they could take all of that out right now and
Sell it for $100
sell
less.
for $100 less.
Yeah.
That would be so
No,
huge
it's like
for them.
this is definitive proof. This is what I said when they announced it. Like they built the world's best Google TV, right? And like Microsoft was like, no, we didn't, and all the fanboys were like, no, it's going to be awesome. It's the world's best. This part of the Xbox is the world's best Google TV.
Well, good for them.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I think if you love Google TV, so those 10 guys are going to be super pumped. Everything else is like why. I get why you want to do this, but it doesn't support surround sound, right? Like they didn't even like table stakes TV
There
stuff.
are other parts of the Xbox experience. I mean, the Kinect, it requires a very specific setup. I'm in the process of migrating all my like home media gear from behind my couch where my projector is to the front of the room.
No.
So that it can
Radical.
so they can be plugged
Radical
into a
reconfiguration.
Kinect. So they can be plugged into a Kinect. Like it requires like, I don't know, there are certain strictures. Like Microsoft has an idea in their head of how you do
Right.
this stuff, and they're maybe right for
Well, and there's no-
75% of people.
Did you say there's no extension cables for the Kinect? Because there aren't any yet. I'm sure there will be third-party ones.
I'm not going to run a friggin' Kinect cable 30 feet.
All right. Have you had good success with the Xbox One Kinect? Have you tried to use it?
Yeah, I was doing some leaning.
Oh yeah, the camera stuff
And
is fine.
Forza
It's really
stuff?
good at seeing you.
And yeah, no,
it's
the-
terrible listening to me.
Is
The-
it way better in
the speech-
small short rooms? Because I need to be.
No, we were trying it on the Polygon stream yesterday. We were trying it in Studio B. We were right in front. I mean, I was basically yelling into the camera.
Yeah, you don't have to be a million feet away anymore. But no, I think that the speech recognition is decent. I was upstairs trying out the Xbox One, and I was turning up and down the volume because I didn't know where the TV remote was. And that was fun.
Yeah.
That's cool to be able to do. And then when I left the room, I was going to go push the button to turn it off. And I was like, Xbox will turn off or something like that.
You just like waved at it. You're like, hey, whatever you want to do is fine.
And then I had to go turn off the TV.
I've never once gotten Xbox on to turn anything on.
Really?
Just doesn't. Nope.
And another
It's not
cool
gonna do it
thing
for
is
me.
that the Kinect tracking of who's holding the controller.
That's cool. Like all this stuff
I
is
was
cool.
seeing some subtle stuff with that, like I played Crimson Dragon, and that
game sucks.
It's horrible. That watches me no matter what. So I was playing with Chris Plant. He's controlling the dragon, and I'm doing the barrel rolls by going side to
nice.
side. But
Do you ever think out loud when you say sentences like that? Like, what is my job?
No, never.
Just checking.
No self-reflection here. But in Forza, when he had the controller and I would try to go side to side, it wasn't detecting my lean. So like, it's clear that software developers have the ability to kind of see who has the controller and be smarter in that sense, which is cool. And then also when you set down the controller, like if you're watching a movie, it puts the controller in low power mode.
Yeah.
So you're gonna sit like the battery.
That's cool. The battery
lasts
lasts
on the
forever.
controller. So they are doing so many little cool things, and I also just love. I haven't
think the
played much with
controller's
the
great, too.
PlayStation 4. Jumping out of a game instantly and then going into something else instantly, and I don't care if it's TV. I don't really want it to be my TV.
Right.
But just jumping out and then saying something and you're into something else, or snapping on a little web browser.
All that stuff is great.
I
mean,
love
the
that
web browser gets
speed.
really slow when you're playing games.
Like right now, it's probably, I'm trying to think, if I'm playing Grand Theft Auto and I want to watch Netflix, that's probably 15 to 20 button presses on my current 360.
That's crazy, but okay.
Yeah. You'd have to hit the center button,
By the way,
It's
the
at
center
least
button.
10.
close the
center button,
game,
I learned.
confirm that you want to close the game, move over to your apps, go into apps, and then go to Netflix. Like, it's a lot of work.
I learned the center button, by the way. Do you know what Microsoft names it?
What?
It's called it? It's called the Nexus button.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Oh
It had
my
long
God.
before because the Xbox been around. Nexus
Right.
button.
All
That's,
right.
that's what all the dudes call it. No, I'm with you. Look, I think this is what I'm saying. I think the Xbox One one day will be the one to get. Like, without question. Right at this moment, couldn't tell you. Right? Like, pretty
Microsoft
sure.
seems to be better at software.
Yeah, no, and Sony is way better at hardware. It's the Sony's hardware is unquestionably more beautiful and better designed.
And what
right?
matters in a 7, 8, 9 year cycle is the software.
Yeah, without question. I mean, you could argue that there's more headroom on the PS4, but that's like that is some like deep NeoGAF shit that I don't even want to like begin to think about. Right? Like, what matters is that the software company is going to build deep NeoGAF. Not even touching it, man. But what matters is like, they're good at software. They have a platform. They have the ability to get developers. And let me bold pronouncement by Nilay Patel.
Well, please do.
I think the platform potential of the Xbox One, assuming Microsoft can actually harness it, which is an enormous assumption, is equivalent to the platform potential of like the iPhone.
What?
Right.
Wow.
Because it's never been done before. Like, what other company can
hasn't
do
been done
it?
before? You mean the
Like-
Xbox 360?
No, there's no open app development for the Xbox 360.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Well,
it's never this thing that they're doing has never been done on television before.
that claim-
the only other company that can do it is Apple. Go
yeah,
ahead.
that claim is like that's what I want to believe, but the fact that they haven't given us a coherent story yet has me afraid that they're just going to bungle it. They're not going to launch that kind of ecosystem.
Right, and it's funny because they're not doing it on the other products that actually do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Instagram doesn't take a photo. It's like, you know, like they got it.
I mean,
the
if you
potential
look
is
at-
this is like the
if you
classic
look at the restraints
Microsoft.
that are on developers in Windows Phone and Windows 8, you know, those are holding back the quality of the apps, or have so far.
Right. Well, no, I mean, we should just get right into this. Are there any other Xbox things to say? Probably not.
You see what I did there with the transition?
Good. Did you just make your own transition sound effect?
Transition. Transition.
Okay, we're just
Goodbye.
What? It worked out. Instagram on the Windows Phone. Do we have one here?
Yeah, we got one right here.
Oh, we have this monster.
Is this
My God. So that is first of all, that is the Lumia 1520.
Yeah.
And I
here's
have
all
to
you
say,
need to know.
It is
how
comically large.
You know how the unlock and lock button
Yeah.
on phones are sometimes on the top or on the top side? This is where it's on this phone. And that explains perfectly how large this is.
Like, okay, hang on.
This
Here's
is
a
what I
Nexus
wanted.
5, which
just
is not a
reaction
small
shots
phone.
of Paul playing with things.
And
It's like the same. Like if you were a mathematician, if you measured from here to here and then here to here, that would be the same as measuring from here to here
Wait,
to here.
Paul, I have just one very simple question.
No,
Why
I'm
would
not
you
a
need to be a
mathematician, I'm sorry.
mathematician to do that?
Look, I'm working on it. I've been studying some calculus and pre-calculus on Khan Academy, and
But no,
I
I'm
promise
asking,
you,
why would it
I'm
require a
calculus.
This isn't
mathematician
pre-calc.
to measure the perimeter of
Basic
either
Euclidean
side?
geometry.
Like, okay, that's
All right,
cool.
I'll measure them.
Oh my
I
god.
got that far, and then
This is riveting television.
One of those.
Paul, estimating measurements. Paul, you just moved your fingers, man. Come on. I'm not a mathematician.
I caveated, all right?
So here's the
Give
thing
up.
about the 1520.
Let's start with the 1520, then we'll talk about
This
Instagram.
happened on
World's
the mobile
largest
show.
Object.
The 1520, the review of it, Dan wrote it's very good. It was the first time we used the word phablet without apologizing for it immediately.
Yeah.
on the
never
Verge. And,
Because
like,
it's
apologize.
very clearly what it is.
yeah.
Well,
It's so big.
here's what I don't understand.
It's so really
Can I just here's a plea to all manufacturers of all devices. Don't make glossy plastic backs.
Yeah.
Right? Like particularly when they're like curved like this. There's something like that kind of glossy. There's a glossy that maybe works. It's a little duller. That glossy makes it look really cheap. And Nokia makes
It does
like great.
feel really solid, but
It
it's
feels really
so
solid.
slimy.
It's super slimy. It's like just don't. I've seen Nokia make beautiful plastic phones.
Check out this awesome
They-
picture I took of Dieter.
Wow, that is just.
And I posted it to
Can I
Dan's
just say the
Instagram.
size of the interface is so comically huge on that phone? They've accomplished nothing. Like they made a huge screen and
No,
the
it's
interface
like-
just scales up.
It's like if you wanted to like have a demo of
Yeah.
like if you walk into a Best Buy and there's like a kiosk and it's like a extra large version
Yeah.
of something just so that you can understand.
It's like a fake phone.
Yeah, it's like this is what phones are like if you get really close. We're just trying to.
Wow. I mean, whatever. It's a Windows phone. It's 1080p.
Has
Right,
it-
Dieter?
it
Tell
has
me
it-
all about
It
it.
has Instagram.
No, the big thing is it's got the new version of Windows Phone that is supposed to deal with the fact that the screen is gigantic and it can also
Yeah.
be 1080p. And they didn't quite go far enough. You can add more rows of tiles, and some of the core apps have been tweaked to fit more crap on the screen.
Dude, open
But
the
way
keyboard.
too often you're just looking at stuff that's just huge.
There are more tiles on here.
Oh yeah, the keyboard is gigantic.
Yeah.
When you open up the keyboard, it goes up half the screen.
Come on, man.
I think it's
Have
taller.
some dignity.
The keyboard on this phone, I think, is taller than the keyboard on the Nexus
I think
7
it's bigger
tablet.
than an iPhone. It's taller than if like an iPhone in landscape.
You gonna measure it?
Like I said,
That is ridiculous.
not a mathematician.
That is just openly ridiculous.
Open. So the word suggests that's why that big black bar is up there
Oh, good.
all the time.
Because you know what you need when you're using a gigantic 6-inch phone
openly
is for the keyboard to take up so much screen real estate, you're left with like 2 inches of actual content at the top.
openly ridiculous.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else to say about the 1520? I mean, it's a Windows phone.
It's a Windows phone, and like the other thing I'll say is like the phablet
I'm
thing.
sorry,
like,
Dan, for using your phone, your Instagram.
It's no longer okay to just complain about big phones for being big, I think.
Right.
Because
Well,
they're,
no,
they're
I mean-
here.
And there's a Sony one we did.
Yeah.
Did we do it already?
Xperia, I don't know.
Well, there's a gigantic Sony one.
Yeah.
In the offing.
Z Ultra.
The Z Ultra, which is also ridiculous. It's bigger than a pint glass. I took a picture of it the other day next to a pint
yeah,
glass.
that's right.
And it's just like why? And that one, so Paul,
Fits.
Paul, is
fits
that a
in my
1520
pocket.
in your pocket?
The answer to why is because people like big screens, and it's nicer to have a big screen.
Yeah. I mean, I get, but I don't want the screen that big.
Well, that's why you have an iPhone.
It's true, but I also have like other, like my HTC One has a big screen. The Nexus 5, I qualify it. Only the black Nexus 5 is cool. The other one, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Wait, what just happened?
Like I like those screens.
Like something happened to the colors and they went all like
Every time I'm in a car in New York and I pay the driver,
all the colors were like it went down to like 256 total colors on the screen
just now,
and then like it came back. It looked like everything was made in MS Paint.
So we should talk about Instagram.
Clear black technology. Is that now you're living in the X Reality Pro?
Yeah, I
engine.
guess so.
I just like using.
So Instagram, you take a picture and it sends you to your actual to your camera roll.
Instagram there was a cluster of misinformation. Dieter, you want to walk us through it?
So okay, coming, hooray! It gets released, and they tell us it won't do video and it won't take pictures directly inside the app. It's like, well, that's insane. It'll only take you to the camera roll. But then it turns out that you can go into the camera roll, and then within the camera roll, you can hit the camera button to launch the native camera interface to take the picture, and then it kicks you back into Instagram to edit the picture and put your filters on it.
That all happens pretty fast. The only caveat, the only problem there is you don't see that square crop while you're taking the picture.
Right. You don't have Instagram's camera interface. You've got the native camera interface.
So here's my guess, because there was a lot of confusing information.
There's a lot of confusing information from people who should not have been confused.
And the bad information came from Instagram, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
So my guess is that what we all assumed happened, and Microsoft built this app, and they're like, here you go, and Instagram doesn't know anything about it. And they barely even used it, and they didn't realize.
But so if Microsoft built the app, why it doesn't use the lens feature? I don't think like Microsoft built this cool feature where you could have multiple lenses, or maybe it was Nokia, where I'm going to use this camera app for this thing, and I don't think. I mean, it's still early, so I'm sure it'll come.
Right. Well, but that's like a Nokia.
Yeah.
But
their claim is that like they've done so much work on their camera app, they don't want you to use Instagram's crappy interface. They want you to use the magical, Windows Phone interface to take your picture, which is fine. It's just like it's an extra button.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things. And Tom ran this report because they have Vine now too.
Yeah,
and it's like have they like turned the corner in the?
No, they said they
think they've turned the corner.
Microsoft literally said we've turned the corner on apps. We're good now
because you can't complain about it not having Instagram anymore.
Well, which was the poster child of like when people complain about Windows Phone doesn't have apps, like well, what apps don't they have? Instagram. That was always the one.
And I personally was like, and there's no comically large phone that could also serve as a fire truck in a small emergency. But now, honestly, I can't. What else is there? I'm switching to Windows Phone, everybody.
But so Instagram is a perfect example. So it still doesn't do video. So yes, you've turned the corner. You've got Instagram now. Good job. You needed to do that. But the quality of the apps on Windows Phone still isn't up to what iOS is, and they're not getting as many frequent updates, and features aren't necessarily coming first to Windows Phone. So Instagram, is still the perfect example of what Microsoft needs to do to like get its platform up to parity. You're getting there on numbers, you're getting there on first-party titles, but now you need those first-party titles to feel as awesome or better than they are on other platforms.
I also need the animations to be faster. I mean, Windows Phone and iOS now are like in the race for the most appallingly slow animations to do. It's like, I'm going to go to my home screen. Here it is. Yeah. I'm going to open
What if there's somebody in Cupertino that's like holding down the shift key?
That's what I said. When iOS 7 first came out, I thought all those demos were shift key demos.
His cat's been sitting on the shift key this whole time. And all of a sudden he notices, gets his cat off the shift key, and all of a sudden everything's so fast. But literally, the iOS 7 animations
but seriously, folks,
did not bug me until you guys started complaining about that on the podcast.
They're the worst.
I've been using iOS 7 forever, and I did not.
But Paul, you've been, just as your friend, you've been living at a more relaxed pace.
I don't matter.
I'm just saying,
marginalized.
You've been.
I'm pretty relaxed.
Yeah, right.
But I've been learning a lot about programming.
Yeah,
and the way you make Windows phone apps and Windows 8 apps and Xbox apps is very similar to the process that you go through if you want to make an HTML5 app that is then magically by some framework ported to all the phones.
Yes, that's their whole game. That was Palm's game once upon a time, remember? Remember Palm?
Oh, don't talk to me about Palm.
Remember? They were cuddly. Then they got bought and sold 15 times.
And so
they were murdered by a man named Leo.
Look at this guy trolling me right now.
So you get kind of a somewhat not necessarily hamstrung, but maybe awkward API to the native features of the phone.
And well, there's multiple channels, so you can do that kind of app that is the XML stuff, or you can do like the game that's like hard coded to the silicon. You can do it both ways. It's just like the default way is that.
Right. But if you're going to create something like Instagram and you plug in access to the camera, it is very similar to when you're making a website that accesses your computer camera.
Yeah, and as long as it's fast, that's actually you can develop stuff
If that
faster.
really worked, that would be great. But I still don't think we're there.
No.
And like if you see like, you know, just the whole thing of Facebook going from an HTML5 thing to a native app, there are just still some really strong advantages to native apps.
Yeah.
And I don't think Windows.
Well, I will say Windows Phone has done a better
Windows
job
have
at
it.
that sort of development process than anybody else
Sure.
on a smartphone.
I would agree with that.
But yeah.
Can we talk about the other big Windows story of the day, which is like my favorite story of all time?
Yes.
Microsoft is now selling Scroogled branded merchandise.
What?
Are you aware of this?
No.
It's amazing. So they opened a store, Microsoft, it's a company.
It's like on their website. It's at like
I've heard of
store.microsoft.com.
Yeah, /Scroogled.
Yeah. Oh,
Bring it up on the big screen. I don't know.
Scroogled. Oh.
Yeah. And that you can like get T-shirts that say "Keep calm" and while we steal your data with the Chrome logo on them.
Microsoft in a beef with Google is like your dad in a rap battle.
Well, so I've heard a couple theories about this. One, I think this is like they're using the Chrome logo all over the place, which I think is very obvious like parody, right? Like this, no one's going to confuse these for Google products, right?
Right.
No one's going to confuse this for like a Chrome thing. But the theory that's been floating around on Twitter is that Microsoft is waiting for Google to bait them with like a cease and desist letter, so they can be like Google's an evil company.
It's really intensely bad.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like it's super hilarious
And like immature.
And Google's response that is really good is competition in the wearable space is heating up.
Like this is stuff that you sell on like ThinkGeek.
Yeah.
yeah. Microsoft's latest venture comes as no surprise. Competition in the wearable space is really heating up.
Yeah,
That's
Google's
amazing.
response. But I just think
calm while we
I just think it's fun.
data.
Like there's like an element.
problem
like,
I
the
have-
jokes are bad and the products are like whatever. Like I think it's funny.
The problem that I have with this Scroogled thing is, you know, people that still spell Microsoft with a $sign instead of an S.
Oh, I know those people. I know where they are.
Yeah,
I can find them at a moment's notice.
this feels like the exact mirror image of that. It's like it's not funny. It's not whatever. Like yeah, you've got a point, but come on.
Yeah. Also, by the way, Outlook serves ads when you use it. Like Outlook.com definitely has ads on it. But they're just saying it's just a thing that they have. It's just a free mail service served by ads.
This is
Scroogled.
absurd. This is
It's the best.
absurd.
I just think it's really funny. I like that Microsoft has some attitude.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I'm into it. You got a little attitude. They're like they're out there. They're fighting. Look at that.
they got attitude. I just wish they had taste.
Check out our giant phone. It won't scroogle you, huh? It's fine. No, it's cool. We got Instagram. Camera thing's a
You
little.
only do this when you're behind and scared.
Yeah.
Like you never do this from a position of power.
Yeah, you don't make fun of.
This is how you attack people of power, and this is like you said. This is how people have attacked Microsoft. Forever.
No, I'm sure that there's a bunch of old Microsoft. This is Steve Ballmer on his way out, being like, you know what?
Actually,
they did it to me. What?
The Scroogled shirt with the trench coat and the hat with the
It says I'm watching you.
yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
Oh, good.
No, they're clever.
Oh, good.
There's
I'm
a- there's
glad
a-
you're on their side, Dieter.
There's an element of cleverness to this, but it's like this should be.
Oh, there is not.
There
There
is.
is no element of cleverness.
I'm watching you. Yeah, it's like a joke, like a hilarious.
Yeah. If you scroll down, you
Yeah.
get a bigger image of it.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, look.
That's
It's like-
awesome.
It's like Chrome. He's there. It's who's the guy from Watchmen?
Oh, damn it! You made me forget.
It's my secret power. It's Rorschach.
You didn't come up with that yourself.
Now I got some in my ear. I got a thing.
I love having somebody
I just
in my ear.
watched that movie.
John,
like,
could you just
a week ago.
follow me around all the time and talk in my ear when I'm about to say something stupid?
Yes.
Well, great. John's not. Now he's not paying attention.
You can't. Don't talk to those people. They're not here for you. Talk to the people in the audience. All right.
We should round up Microsoft with the tablet.
Do you want to?
Oh yeah. There's one more Microsoft story, and we should talk about Apple and Samsung. There's a Surface 2 over there too. Yeah. Well, it's crazy because Microsoft.
Give me that.
This is when Microsoft bought Nokia's devices business. I was like, this is what's going to happen. Microsoft is probably going to build a phone, and Nokia's going to build a tablet. And then Microsoft hasn't built a phone yet because they obviously just bought a phone business. But Nokia doesn't care. They're just out there. They just built a Surface. Well, you've got a Surface on top of MacBook Air here.
Yeah, it's dirty, right?
So, Paul, you know, this is what I want. I just want reaction shots of Paul to gadgets. Where you
It's
at?
a gadget. No, dude, I was using the.
No, we got the pencil. It's not going to work on that screen.
Yeah,
Is
it does.
Yes, it's a capacitive stylus.
It's still
I thought
capacitive.
it was. Oh, it's Bluetooth is for the eraser. Anyway, so we have the
And the
pencil.
palm
by-
rejection also.
I think the palm rejection is.
So then this keyboard looks terrible.
yeah, keyword.
But this tab. Oh, sure.
Yeah, so it comes. You can get a case that's got like a little keyboard on it, and then it like folds up
pretty-
into
it's
an inside a
pretty
neoprene
sad.
thing.
But
they
the
got to stop with this
tablet-
glossy fire engine red, man.
I don't know, dude. It feels pretty good.
It's the same as you just said. The phone felt slimy.
Yeah, but I don't know.
What are you doing?
There's definitely a little bit of flex there.
Oh yeah, no.
But I don't know. This is pretty light.
I was expecting this tablet to be a mess, and it's not. It's
I
pretty
will
good.
say, like, I got a Chromebook, and I kind of wish I'd gotten one of these.
Really?
Yeah, as much as hatred as I just poured onto their app ecosystem and SDK, I kind of think I would prefer.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
There's a little.
it's got a little
smushy.
resonance.
Yeah, no. There's it feels like you can like squeeze the air out of it before you like put it in the.
There's like room for like a upgrade. You can like add some RAM to it.
I don't know, man. Here's the biggest problem. Don't see this. See that? Don't do that. No, wrong camera. This one. See this? See these big Verizon logos that are silk screened on here, and I can like rub my finger. Everything about this is fingerprints. I just like everything about this right now is covered in gross, ultra gross fingerprints.
But like this is, I mean, how much does this cost? It's like 300 something.
You're
know.
You're just trying to get John to tell you in your ear again. John, you don't actually want to know.
John, how much is that?
$6 billion.
It's cost $6 billion, I think.
Do you remember when Nokia made a netbook? Remember that thing?
No, I do not.
Nokia made a netbook. And
Oh,
that's what
yeah.
that reminds me of.
That ran Windows.
Yeah.
$400.
Oh, the Nokia
Wait, the
booklet?
4G one?
The booklet. I remember
Yeah.
it was one of Joanna Stern's like,
I remember this now.
and it was a piece. This is like this product is not for this. I have this theory about temporary products, right? There's an endless amount of crap on the market right now that feels super temporary. I think the Nexus 5 feels super temporary to
I
me.
almost
like
can't see through
six
the
months from now,
I-
that thing is just gonna be gone.
Completely disagree.
The Nexus 5.
Yeah, well, the black one. The white one feels completely temporary. The black one
Well, I
feels.
have a white one. I'm sorry. God, it's the worst. It's like every day of my life, I'm like, God, I'm using my phone now. I'm like, I hate myself.
No, the black one, like
Gotta get
it
a black
seemed
one.
it's anonymous and like
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
cool.
boring.
The black one's cool.
But like it also like just goes away, and in a way like your
have this
gadgetry should be.
Let's trade. You want my
invisible.
white one?
No.
This is covered in fingerprints too.
Yeah, I know.
Everything, fingerprints all the time.
Actually, can I complain about this? I just got the wireless charger, which is great, and there's magnets because they steal everything from Palm.
Yeah.
And it has this mode called
Oh, sadness.
It's got this mode called Daydream, where when it's on the charger, it's
That's a Palm thing too, right?
yeah, it was exhibition.
Yeah.
And there are better WebOS exhibition apps that like show you stuff you want while it's charging than there are available on Android.
Yeah.
Is WebOS like the Xerox Park of our time?
It truly is, without question. Only Matthias actually went to Google and isn't doing all the stuff yet.
Well, he's doing it just now on Android.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it would be like exhibition.
I finally found the
Here's my
marketplace.
theory. So the white Nexus 5 in particular feels temporary. Like 6 months from now, no one will ever remember it. It'll go away. Like it will have made no impact on the universe. That tablet, the 2520, temporary, right? In another 4 months, Nokia will be part of Microsoft. That thing will just fade into oblivion, and we'll all. It's the Motorola Zoom, another great example, a product that instantly felt temporary. Nexus 10 instantly felt temporary. Like,
Nexus 10 definitely felt temporary.
like here's this thing, like we farted it out, and like it's gonna go away soon. There are products that don't feel temporary. The Surface 2 right there doesn't feel temporary. Like it has like a weight and a personality. The Nexus 4, even though it didn't have LTE and thus was a tragedy, had like a personality. It didn't feel like immediately temporary. I think we're like in this moment of like ultra temporary products where you can like all these commodity
If you
parts.
buy it, it's not temporary.
Yeah, but why would you buy that? Like,
I
don't think you
kinda
should
want
buy.
one.
You shouldn't buy a
I
product
kinda
that like
want
the
one.
world will
I'm going
instantly
to take
forget.
my Chromebook back.
Like,
to Best
unless you're
Buy.
Chris Ziegler and you just need to have it in your possession.
But who cares
No,
what
but
the world?
that's temporary too because he buys it
Who
and then he
cares
sells
if
it
the
a
world
week
is
later.
going to forget it? I mean, this has.
Because you're buying, you're not just buying. That thing isn't done, right? Like it needs to get software support and updates, and like you need to buy accessories for it. And one day the battery will die.
Uh-oh,
And
I
somebody
just
will have to
got an
fix
error.
it. Like there's all kinds of stuff. And like all these products to me feel incredibly temporary right now. Even the 1520, the phablet, like that's draft one of an idea that may not be very good, right? And like, cool, it's red, and like I don't know. These two products, the Nexus 5, particularly my white one, which I just really dislike.
Like the fact that this is so cheap, I think that the Nexus 5 will do as well as the Nexus 4, which is surprisingly well.
Look, I drew a picture of you, Nilay.
I think you should buy it. Thanks.
It's Nilay.
Thanks,
it's Nilay is like,
no, look, I'm going to go on a diet.
Except the camera, which is terrible.
That doesn't,
the worst.
Come on, man. There's more light in my eyes.
I wonder if that feeling of temporary...
How do you like that
It'll slim you down a bit.
What were you saying, Dieter?
I wonder if that feeling of temporariness is... Everybody watches Samsung just throw crap at the wall, and then out of nowhere, it's like, wow, this is hugely successful, and we weren't expecting it to be hugely successful. So if Samsung can like throw crap at the wall,
but Samsung's
there's
the
a
king
surprise
of temporary products.
Yeah, but sometimes
the Galaxy Round is a temporary.
But if
product.
Samsung can like make a bunch of temporary products, and then all of a sudden the Note happens, and like, whoa, this worked. Everyone's like, well, let's see if we can do that. Let's make a bunch of crap, and if something shocks us and becomes really popular, then hooray for us, we look like innovators.
Yeah, but there's nothing about that tablet that's going to do what the Note did, right?
No.
The Note was the first to its space. It is, for all of its faults, and like, it is at least a reasonably sized thing of that size. You know what I mean?
You're just terrified that the Galaxy Gear is going to be successful.
This is targeting...
The Galaxy Gear is like an ultra temporary product.
This is targeting the vanilla, like Microsoft's concept in their brain of what a Windows tablet is. This is targeting that, and it's always going to have that software. Like the Note, it doesn't get the new Note software.
No, what makes this temporary is that Microsoft is buying Nokia, and why would they continue?
But if you
what is the point?
I mean, as a consumer, I kind of want to buy one of these. If I bought this,
well, why wouldn't you buy a Surface 2?
It's just big and ugly. I mean, it's not ugly. It actually looks really great, but it's big. It is really fat.
No, but so why wouldn't you just buy? I mean, like, I don't get it. Like,
and it's like $1 million.
It's like,
can I see the iPad? I want to do some real drawing.
Here we go.
Yeah. Oh, we have paper. No, it's just here. It's you want to buy the canonical device, right?
Wait, what's with all the red today? Is this like just like a handy visual reminder to us that these are the gadgets that we're demonstrating?
Yeah. And then the Surface 2 is just sitting there.
Yeah, well, all our gray laptops on the Surface 2, they fade into the background.
Yeah.
This is good. I think there's something in like screenwriting workshops about like the woman in the red dress.
That would be the Matrix.
Yeah, that's just the Matrix.
Okay.
Right. Blonde, brunette.
All right, we're gonna watch Paul draw now.
Paul. Okay, so Paul is using the pencil by 53, which is a Bluetooth stylus for the iPad that syncs with Paper, the app, which is tremendously popular.
And the palm rejection doesn't quite.
And when I say tremendously popular, I don't think the palm rejection.
Is it synced? Did you sync it?
No, I think it might only work.
You sync it by tapping it on this little guy, and then there's a little. Just hold it down there. Kiss to sync.
Kill me. Don't say kiss to sync.
Yeah. So there you go. Now it's synced. Now the palm rejection should work. Yep.
It didn't work earlier.
Well, that's because you didn't have it synced.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then there's an eraser on the back. You can take it apart and charge it over a USB.
Stop drawing me.
How do you know that's you?
Because I know that fat face anyway. This is riveting television, by the way. Paul just drawing.
So then you can use your finger to smudge it.
Oh, yeah. No, it's Paper. Paper is doing phenomenally well, by the way. It's an app.
And then you can erase.
And so the big key here is that they hired a bunch of hardware guys from Microsoft who are working on the Courier to build the pencil.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's a pretty good stylus.
Yeah. I mean, if you want a stylus on your tablet.
I do. Okay, I take it back. I'm not getting one of these.
Why aren't you getting one of these?
So I'm just going to double down on my iPad.
Oh, you're not going to get a 2520?
No.
When were you ever?
I don't know. I mean, so the whole idea behind the Chromebook was to get a laptop that I literally couldn't do anything but write on.
Yeah.
But not having real native apps, it was just too scary to be writing something important and it's in a web browser or in like one of their weird fake apps and it dies. And like you literally, if you look through the App Store of almost the Chrome store,
yeah,
for almost any productivity app, was like, this is kind of cool. And then something happened and it refreshed and then like everything's gone. That's pretty much the story for so I was like, well, Windows 8, and I like looked through the app store. It's got some pretty cool markdown apps and stuff. But then I just went back to my iPad and it's awesome.
Yeah.
It is so great. My iPad 2 is amazing.
iPad 2.
No,
2.
3.
yeah,
First one with the retina.
I haven't upgraded, so I swore
but
up and
not
down
the
I was going to
Lightning
buy an
part.
Air, and I even sold my iPad 3 on Gazelle, and then I just haven't done anything yet. It's just sitting there. It's like, oh, I don't use this for very much.
Yeah,
I mean, I use it a lot, but like I don't use it for very much. If that makes any sense?
I used the Mini with the Retina display for the first time since the event, since the hands-on.
You upgrading?
I really don't want to. I really don't want to spend the money,
Yeah.
but I'm probably gonna.
Yeah, it happens. It's that time of year.
Yeah. Well, I thought my hand was gonna be forced because I lost my old iPad Mini. I left it in a zip car.
This is
in
a
San
story of
Francisco.
human triumph.
Yeah.
And karmic balance.
Justin in San Francisco, thank you. He found it. He tried Zipcar to tell him who I was, and they wouldn't. And then I sent the "I lost my iPad" message to it, and he called me.
What a guy.
He's giving it back. He won't.
What a
He won't even
guy.
Right?
let me give him a reward.
True-
I don't even know who he is.
A story of true human accomplishment.
That's right. That saved me $650 because I'm not buying a new iPad now.
Nice. So we should do. There's some. By the way, Scroogold. I just want to point this out. Google. Cool response. I totally forgot the story. Vint Cerf, who is
Oh God.
Google's chief internet evangelist today, said privacy may actually be an anomaly. That privacy is an artificial state created by technology that didn't used to exist.
Yeah, because we all used to live in tiny little villages,
Yeah.
and we knew everybody knew what everybody was doing.
Yeah. And then technology created privacy. So we're now reverting to our state of nature, which is Google and the NSA watching over us at all times. Scroogled, guys.
Yeah, Google is
Scroogled.
replacing "Don't be evil" with "nasty, brutish, and short."
It's a real Hobbesian state of the internet right now.
Wow.
Okay, so bizarrely, we have like a whole litany of Samsung news, which is, I think, strange because it's usually like, look at this crazy phone. So actually, breaking news right before we came on the show, Apple and Samsung back in the courtroom today.
Together
This
again
is
at
the same
last.
old trial, right?
It's the same old trial. So this is the patent infringement trial. I think there's an interesting piece of this. So the number came out today. So the jury in the first trial said Apple wins, Samsung owes them $1 billion. The judge says you got the number wrong. Go back and like figure out. I think it was like $350 million of that number. Like,
Yep.
You got about that much wrong of it. Samsung said, well, that number should be $57 million. And Apple said we should be the whole thing. The jury came back today, said $290 million. So Apple won, like clean, walked away the winner, right? But what's interesting is that during the closing arguments of the trial.
Oh, I was going to go for the lunch thing, but that's cool too.
Yeah, the jury also sent a note asking to order Chinese food for lunch and asking for a picture of themselves.
2 hours before the verdict was
even
rendered.
kidding.
2 hours
of
before
They
the
asked for a picture of themselves.
Wow. I didn't know you could do that.
They were like, "Can we please get the courtroom sketch of the jury?"
Yeah, I love
Like,
that
I
this-
think they're all like friends. Like they're back there, they're eating a bunch of Chinese
buddies.
food. They're like, "Cool egg roll, Tom." Like, what do you think? $297? Ah, $290. Just doing it. Delicious, sweet and spicy. But okay, so here's the really interesting part. During the closing arguments of this trial, Apple made what is largely a I don't know, protectionist claim. It said IP is the basis of the technology economy in America. We have to protect our patents. You have to send a signal to Samsung that you can't do this and get away with it. Look at what happened to the TV industry. We didn't protect our IP in the TV industry, and now there are no more American companies making televisions. And obviously, the big giant in the TV industry is Samsung, which is a Korean company. So Samsung argued that this is a mistrial and that Apple was appealing to racism in their closing arguments, which is like insane. Judge Koh, who's been like,
Well, they were appealing to jingoism, I guess.
I mean, they were saying you have to send a message, and they gave a list of reasons
Right.
why you would send this message. And one of those reasons is, well, we didn't do it in this other industry, and look what happened there. So, like, that's fine. You could definitely make the jingoistic argument. I don't know how you make the racism argument.
Yeah.
I just don't know how you.
Well,
like,
this
'cause,
isn't the
with companies.
first time that Samsung has made this claim about an Apple thing.
Yeah, they do it all.
Yeah.
This is like their move. But Judge Koh is like, it's not a mistrial. But so Samsung's going to like pursue this. Like the next piece of this trial
The
puzzle.
next big move.
The next big move is Samsung is going to say,
And this is like offhand.
and they're going to. Well, I mean, it's part of his closing argument. But this story about the TV industry is out there. Like, this is a story about patents in America. Like, They didn't patent a bunch of TV stuff, and then other people copied it, and they didn't sue. Like, it's out. It's there.
Oh boy, do I not care.
But this is the next move. Is Samsung is going to appeal the verdict in this case, and part of the appeal is going to be there was a mistrial because of racism. So that's one piece of Samsung news, which I thought was pretty ridiculous. The next, to go from that to the Galaxy Gear, I think is very odd, but I'm going to do it anyway. There's a big controversy. You know this.
Yes.
There's a big controversy. Samsung, there's a Korean news source that said they're only selling like 100 a day of the Galaxy Gear, which makes sense to me because the thing sucks.
But then a number came out and like they're selling.
But Samsung says they've shipped or sold, very unclear.
Well,
Did they say shipped?
Very foggy
so
in there. 800,000 total.
They did this the traditional Samsung move where they said shipped, but it got told
Reported
as
by
sold.
others? Okay.
And like
Yeah.
Samsung loves when that happens.
Yeah. It's their favorite.
But 800,000 shipped.
That's the oldest
Who
trick in the
knows
book,
how
by
many
the
of those
way.
are
That's like
actually
one of
going
the
to get
first
sold?
things I learned when I was a fledgling gadget reporter. By
the way-
that shipped is different than sold.
If you go to an AT&T store, stay away from the Gear display. If you like glance at they've got it hooked up to a Galaxy Note 3.
Oh, God.
And if you glance at the Gear or touch it because you want to see what it doesn't actually work. What it does is it starts some
electric
dude
shock.
on the Note 3 talking to you that like runs a video. And I'm like, I just want to play.
That's
Leave me
awesome.
alone. And then I had to run away. It was terrible. Don't do it.
At my Best Buy, if you turn left, it's the cash register. If you go forward, it's Blu-rays on discount. If you turn right, it's their mobile kiosk.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's Galaxy Gear, Samsung stuff, then the app.
They're pushing the Gear hard.
That once
Yeah.
upon a time nicest part of Best Buy, that was that little Apple kiosk, and is now
It's all Samsung got.
it's Samsung land.
Yeah, do you have a little kid dressed as Zoll just flitting around,
But it is funny.
pirouetting between the
It's
gears?
funny to think that there might be more Galaxy Gears in stock at my Best Buy than are sold in a day.
Yes, I think that is
Worldwide.
absolutely 100% correct. I think you could double Samsung sales if you just went to
I
one
don't
Best
know,
Buy and
like-
bought them all.
We'll see. We'll see.
Dude, there's nothing to see.
I think it could still be relatively successful.
I've seen a couple on the subway since I moved here.
It's
No,
really
people are super into
It's
them.
really
Yeah.
tough the way
nobody's
they've
buying
so
them.
closely tied it to.
The Note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think if it wasn't for that, anybody who had like a Galaxy 2 or above could get one of these things
Yeah.
and go off to the races.
Yeah, the super nerdy races.
I think people would be into it. I really
do too. I see S4s and S3s everywhere.
It's one of those things that, like, if you haven't been following the whole Kickstarter smartwatch scene, this is the first time. It's just like when I showed people I could do things on my iPhone. You know, it's like, yeah, technically you could have done
No.
that on Windows Mobile before or
this
Palm
isn't.
OS.
There's no.
But
What
like
are you
this is the
talking
first
about?
time a lot of people are seeing this level of technology on their wrist.
Yeah, but it's not a good enough level of technology.
Well, yeah, if you
They just
actually
released the update that
if
lets
you-
you see full notifications.
if
on
you
it.
actually are going to care about like reviews and empiricism,
no,
and-
but so
I do care about reviews and empiricism. I'm telling you,
but
this,
I'm saying
this
this
is not enough.
just by exposing people to this level of technology that can be on their wrist.
No.
I think that's
So
really exciting
your-
for people.
Your panicked look at me when you were saying technically you could do it on Windows Mobile because you knew that I was going to be like, well, showing off a smartwatch right now feels exactly like showing off Windows Mobile before the iPhone. People are like, wow, yeah, it's really cool that you can do that, nerd.
Yeah.
Right? Like we need. I mean, we're waiting for the iWatch.
I
again, right?
mean, I guess-
there's
I
not
guess
a
that's
lot
kind
that
of
isn't-
Google's thing. Like,
Yeah.
this is Samsung. Like they're Samsung. It's Samsung. They made it. They're like, it's another temporary product. A year from now, no one will remember this. We'll be on to the Gear 2, and this thing will be
It's like-
forgotten. It'll
this
never
is
get a
like
software
the-
update, and it'll be over.
The Windows Mobile compared to a Newton. We were at Newton stage with smartwatches.
With the Pebble.
Although I guess
I think
really,
the Pebble,
I guess the
if you want a
Pebble's kind of
smartwatch, you
actually
should buy a
better.
Pebble.
Yeah, man.
Like, without question. And you know what I think is
I just
crazy?
feel like people are going to buy
Speaking
this.
of-
I can't
No,
justify
speaking of,
it
like,
apparently with a bad analogy. I just think people
Kickstarter-
are buying Galaxy Gears.
No, they're clearly not.
I think some people are buying them.
Well, yeah, like 100 a day in the
I
entire
think more
world.
than that. I think that's a low number.
I think we'll be surprised at how many were sold. I'm not saying that you're wrong that this thing is a smashing success, but I think that more
Well,
of
no.
them will have been sold than I would have expected.
Yeah, instead of buying the girlfriend that you don't like very much an iPod Nano, You're gonna get her a Galaxy Gear. Like that's
was
the kind
really
of
not like your girlfriend.
no, that was it. Like there was like a couple of years there where
I was
like,
gonna break up, but I'll just give her a
but
gear
we
instead.
gotta get through this. Here you go. Here's an iPod Nano. Here's a reflection of the depth of my feelings. I didn't put any music on it.
Did you say death or depth?
It's about,
Two sides of the same coin.
Yeah, it's whatever. I hope you have a Galaxy Note. It's like fine, fine. Can we just bring up the Winamp thread?
Yes.
Can we just look at
please.
it? Let's all just look at it, guys.
What are we looking at?
Winamp is dead.
AOL, our former employer.
Not mine.
That's true. I was,
Yeah.
I was looking at Paul.
Our
Paul and I,
former employer.
we shared some times at America Online.
That's
Killed Winamp. Killed it dead. The rumor, however, is that Microsoft is going to buy it, which is amazing.
what?
Don't know
that
why.
guy left AOL like forever ago.
Yeah, no. So
What does
hated-
Microsoft need out of Winamp?
I don't know. TechCrunch had a rumor that Microsoft was going to
Oh
buy
man,
Winamp.
the skids.
Can we put up
the skids?
John? Can we put up the Winamp thread?
By the way, this guy went on to like create a really awesome like music software thing for creating music, like Logic. What are those called? There's a word for it.
DAW.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Okay,
created a
interesting.
really great. It's like really lightweight. Like most of those softwares are like a gigabyte something to download, and it's like 10 megabytes or something like that. And it works with all plugins and stuff. So like he went on to do some cool stuff.
He did
So
some good stuff.
AOL didn't kill him.
Yeah. Okay. So look,
Just his
Can
product.
I just point out Winamp? Just the state of software. So this was when I was in college, right? So this is like the early 2000s,
Yeah.
right? Somewhere in there. The fact that we use software. So that's stock Winamp, right? That one in the middle.
Yeah, that one-
And then you
that's
could
stock
skin
Winamp.
it. I mean, this was the beginnings of a revolution.
And then with the llama
the idea
thing?
that the revolution looked like this is just so disturbing to me. Like this anime skin.
And think about this. This is right when maybe just a little bit before, we're skinning our MySpaces like crazy. Like we had so much more power over our technology back then. We could skin.
And we used it so irresponsibly.
then they took it away.
Like, dude, you want to know why Apple decided to lock everything down and like only Steve
we'll
Jobs'
look
dictatorial
back-
vision would drive the world?
My
look
favorite
up-
is the Dave Matthews one.
It's
That's the best one.
We'll look back
Scroll
on this
down a little bit
past,
more.
on this
Goldmember
past
skin?
decade. This decade, it's
Come on! Like, why would you want that software on your computer? Why would you think to yourself, every time I want to listen to a song, I want this gigantic, like, bitmap of Dave Matthews to, like, look at me?
We did Winamp skins. We did MySpace skins.
Oh, my God, the Van Helsing one.
And we've been in timeout.
Yeah.
The technology industry put us in timeout.
Yeah.
And now
Steve Jobs put us in timeout.
No, Facebook put us in timeout.
By the way, so we looked at Facebook, but then Jobs. So we looked at the original. That triangular one is not so bad. But we looked at the original iTunes
Yeah, right.
keynote. Can I just point this out?
okay.
He did that presentation in Comic Sans.
oh, the original QuickTime stuff on Windows was terrible too. Like it didn't match any of the
it had
Windows
brush
stuff.
metal. And
Yeah,
all
it
that.
was
No,
horrible.
this was the age of skinning. Apple just
Yeah.
had one skin, but Jobs definitely responded to this by buying SoundJam. Remember, and he released iTunes, and he had we're releasing iTunes like keynote. It's a big deal, right? And he put up all these skins, and it was like, this is ugly and confusing and hard to use. We've got a thing, but that whole presentation, all the slides were in Comic Sans.
Wow.
And it's like you got
No,
halfway
come
there.
on,
was
that
trying to tell us
That
something.
was a subtle troll.
He was trying to tell us something.
If I'm gonna have to like release Windows software,
No,
then
it wasn't.
screw
No,
it. I'm
this was
doing
for
it
the
with
Mac.
Comic Sans. Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
Shoot, that was a really good joke until you gave me the truth.
No, it was incredible.
Winamp.
What is
It
happening
really
in
whips
my
the
ears?
llama's ass.
Yeah, I was wondering when the llama would
I
happen.
forgot about the llama.
What? How did you forget about the llama?
That's
I
the
didn't
funny
use
thing.
Winamp, man.
This software.
What?
This
Did you
software,
see it? I had Dignity. I had a Rio. I had a Creative Rio, and I used whatever. I mean, I realized what I just said.
I had dignity.
I used the hell out of Winamp. It was great.
But can you? This
little
is
playlist
software that I
interface.
literally I couldn't install this on my mom's computer because it talks about whipping a llama's ass.
Winamp.
Again?
It really whips the
What a
llama's
time!
ass.
It was the Wild West.
It It was.
We need to get back
Technology
to
is
this
free.
exploration.
All right.
I'm gonna
May 30th, 2007.
I'm gonna edit the CSS of Facebook and make a skin.
John, I'm gonna
for
put
myself.
this. I'm gonna put this
It's gonna be so
keynote
cool.
video.
Oh, I like the
at the top
snowboarder.
of
That's
our doc. There you go. Just watch. It's there. It's.
We're
my
working
God.
on.
I just want to show.
Hey guys,
the
let's
video.
do some dead air. Dead air.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the best. All right, we probably have one more thing to talk about before we watch this Comic Sans situation.
What is it?
Well, the Moto X is sitting over there.
Oh yeah. So this is insane.
This is a victory for freedom.
Yeah. So Moto X was updated to 4.4 KitKat on Verizon.
Yeah.
First, and then it came out on T-Mobile. It's come out on the
Doubtful.
dev units today.
No,
But,
it's like what?
dude,
that makes no
Verizon.
sense to me.
Came out on Verizon first, and so it. First of all, it doesn't have the Nexus 5 launcher. I told you so.
Yeah. No, that's
but-
like it's Google's skin on Android. That's your
Right.
theory. The
And-
Nexus 5.
But otherwise, it's KitKat. It does all the stuff. It does this thing where you can say, "Okay, Google now." Oh, it's not.
It
It's
didn't
not
work.
trained to my voice. But you can ask where it is, and it'll start beeping. Oh, did I just
By the way, I just realized I have the podcast up, the podcast topics up.
Yeah.
For 2011 September.
Nice.
oh, good.
But no, I mean it. It
So
really
you've been
doesn't.
really confused this whole time. then.
Sprint sues to block AT&T T-Mobile deal.
Good.
It really doesn't feel all that different from 4.3. But what's crazy is that it came out on a Verizon phone first. It's out before 4.4 is available on the Nexus 4.
Yeah. Also,
Which
the
is
Google
nuts.
Experience devices.
Right.
Thank you very much, Google. I spent $500 on that phone. No, $550 on HTC
I thought
One.
your screen was glitched.
That was supposed to get
No,
updates.
wood pattern looks really
and the
weird.
Verizon Moto X got it first. So I feel like a chump. Cool. Cool phone.
Yeah,
Really love
and
it.
these things are dirt cheap now. They're selling for like $50 or $100 or a penny. I'm sure Black Friday you'll be able to get it for free on contract everywhere.
Well, they're a penny on contract too.
Yeah. So I don't know what I can say about how insane it is that Verizon got it first, other than the
fact
my
that it's
whole world is
Verizon and not
rocked.
T-Mobile or AT&T is
Right.
because
Yeah.
Verizon and Motorola are very close. Mm-hmm. You know, they probably in exchange the next Droid has to feature actual knives that shoot out of it and kill bystanders. It's just a thing. By the way, the original iTunes was super ugly. The fact that we went from Winamp and then this was an improvement. Do it. Look at this. What is this like?
Comic Sans.
It's
That's
Marker Felt.
That's Marker Felt.
Oh, that's even
Gosh,
better.
we
A
lied.
font that everybody else hates just slightly less than Mark.
Yeah, but
Comic Sans.
Steve Jobs clearly loved.
Oh, was that the big drama about
No,
the
but can
Notes
we
app,
just
right?
skip ahead? Yeah, the Notes app, and they took it all out. Now it's Helvetica.
Yeah.
Can we skip ahead to the actual iTunes interface in Brush Metal? Because the fact that we thought that was like a breath of fresh air indicates the depths to which software design. Come on.
Well, the first time
This is so bad.
we saw this UI was when QuickTime 4 came out. And
Yeah.
remember when QuickTime 4 came out alongside the new Star Wars trailer? So
I do remember that.
we all got a lot of brush metal.
Can we just get the audio of this? I mean, this is like classic Steve Jobs. All
doesn't
he's
look
doing
that bad.
in this presentation
It doesn't look that
is
bad.
playing
Very, very
MP3s.
simple. Now, you might want to import a bunch of songs, and you could put all your discs in, but I've already done that, and I've got a bunch of songs in a folder here, and all I have to do is drag that on
Why
top
is
of
this a demo
iTunes,
of anything?
and I've got about 1,000 songs. So there's 1,000
Yeah, I
songs
miss-
just imported,
I miss OS9 so
and
much.
matter of fact, I've got 1,004 songs
I'm
in
going
here.
back.
Okay, we can cut
and
the audio here.
that's,
going
that's a
back.
pretty big music
It's
library.
crazy we were at a state with Winamp in that software that this was a meaningful demo to give to thousands of people.
It is actually really interesting. They cleaned up Winamp a little bit.
Sound Jam. That's what it was.
But,
Yeah.
but the visual language style, they tried to come up with one.
Yeah.
But they're clearly indebted to this Winamp thing. And if you think about that iTunes aesthetic, has bled over to a lot of iTunes visual design because it's been their most popular product for
yeah, it's everywhere.
has really
That with
ever-
one window
and
interface,
it's
yeah.
all
Yeah.
Winamp's fault.
Yeah. We live in our world is a reaction to Winamp.
And now it's dead.
Now it's done.
And next,
And now Microsoft is going to buy it, and it's going to get super weird. All right, that
Wait,
was
what if we could
Vergecast.
skin every single live tile like Winamp?
That'd be amazing. If we could
On your home
get
screen?
the Dave Matthews,
Instead of a square, you could just
it could just be anything you wanted. Oh, that would be incredible. I mean, it would also be a
I want to
terror
live in that world.
yeah.
where vomit just pours out of my eyes every time I look at any computer ever. I vomit. The Nilay Patel story.
No.
But it would be lowercase I. Nope. Okay. That was the Vergecast, everyone. I'm really sorry that happened.
Oh, we were doing so good.
I don't. Just at the end, you just got to take that left turn.
That's all right.
I'm glad that we just mostly played with toys today.
Yeah.
No,
It's been a
no
while.
deep
How
stuff. How about
often does
that,
that
NSA running healthcare.gov? Am I right? Well, also that happened. What was that?
I don't know.
Are you a Muppet?
I was trying to tell you that I didn't care what you were saying. That I realized I didn't know what you were saying.
And I didn't care enough to make words.
I don't care to know. I don't know enough to care.
All right. Well, that was an experience for everyone.
Can you do it this time? Can you wrap it up?
As usual, we apologize to the audience for the loss of your time and dignity. There are many ways to get a hold of us. You can attack us on Twitter. I'm Reckless. Bone Zone. Backlon. I'm just trolling you. Backlon. Future Paul.
You can send me all your Winamp skins.
Please. The more Winamp skins we can collect, the better. You can.
We should get a Winamp skin for our live stream player.
I'm pretty sure we can. We'll think about it. It'll just be you playing the guitar.
Yeah.
It'll be great. You can leave a comment on the post. You can send us an email.
By the way, I was playing left-handed.
It's podcast at
I was in
theverge.com, I believe.
character as Paul McCartney.
I thought your character was Paul Miller. Aren't you left-handed?
I am, but I play right. I play.
It's Vergecast at theverge.com. I can't. Can we just set up the other email? It's like, it's going to be easier
do
for
you want
us
to come on the show
in
and
the
say
world. Is
everything
if we
right all the
I'm never
time?
going to get it right. Just set up the other email. You can. There's probably a phone number you can call. No one will pick up. And that was it. At this point, I believe I'm supposed to check my hair and threaten your family. So just assume those things happen. Rock and roll.